And telefrag. I just love that so much. It's hard to even describe why that's just so satisfying, but here's one. One of the rules of cyber demons is that you can't have them especially close to you. You can't be especially close to a cyber demon unless you are moving to plan for, like, Hell Knights you can get kind of close to. Cyber demons, you have to be doing really proper evasive maneuvers if you are close to it. That's one of the rules of cyber demons. Yeah, you gotta maneuver accurately and with nothing blocking you to sort of manage moving around a cyber. There's only certain ways, and if you saw the video on my Sunlust maps optimizations, and here's a funny thing. Yeah. Well, basically what I was doing with those imps, I would carve through them when I thought the cyber demon would come back behind me. And henceforth not get trapped with too little room to move against the cyber demon. Sadly, you can't telefrag this one. This teleporter is blocked now. So, just kill the imps. Like, don't worry. I actually used a bit of plasma just because my strategies actually managed to save a hell of a lot of plasma. This isn't hard now. It's just a cyber. Yeah, not too bad. Once you've got enough room to move against anything but archviles, they represent no threat anymore. Once you've got room, most enemies don't represent a threat unless they're hit scan or archviles. Man, this room sucks. This room was stupid. They couldn't find any way to, like, make it better. That's the thing, like, I just couldn't find an answer to this. Other than, like, I wanted to leave with a little more health, really, than I did. This fight's just annoying. If you can pull off what Decino does, go do that. I couldn't get that to work for me. I don't know why, but I just couldn't. Different players have some really wildly different skill sets, for absolutely certain. Decino seems to have this intuition about him. I am very good at reactive gameplay, like reacting to the enemies, and I'm a lot worse at, like, sort of scripted, follow one path as exactly as you can kind of gameplay. I'm not as good at that as I am sort of reacting to the enemies. And so, I couldn't pull off what Decino did, but a lot of things I've done better than him, and hell, even a few things I've done better than, you know, proper speedrunners, like the Doom people who are arguably even better than Decino. There are a few things I do better than them. It's just the way of the world. It's great. It's a good thing that this, you know, so everyone was the same, then, well, yeah, and I leave those mancubi. Just don't bother. Okay, here's the second hardest room of the map coming up. Took me a bit to get a strat. Okay. So, if you've watched Decino's vid, you'd know basically what's gonna happen. So yeah, and just for the record, when I was talking about evasive maneuvers against cybers, maybe just, like, basically just try to go left or right of them, or just watch them sharply and dodge them accurately. That's what evasive maneuvers are. That's what happens when you get close enough to a cyber. That's what you'll have to do. And have to have nothing in the way of that. Just move to the side of it. Okay, what I do here, kill the first vial with plasma, kill the second with rockets, kill some specters with rockets first, kill the second with vial with rockets, switch to plasma in between, and kill the final vial with plasma. The reasons behind that. And also, take cover next to each of the vials platforms so that the cyber can't hit you. The reason for this, the mounted vials disincentive for moving because you can only kill so many of them. Everything else is an incentive for moving. Also, basically what I do here is just sort of hold down the fort once I've got 3 vials dead. I've earned myself enough room to neutralize the threat of the room. So, I'm basically done here. So, incentive for moving. You don't want to get stuck inside a bunch of specters, and the specters, if you don't go, like, sort of to the outside rim, the specters will block you a lot. So, yeah, if you rush straight to the platforms, I always got blocked by the specters, so I decided to take a little extra time outside of the vial's actual range to kill them. To kill a few specters, not all of them, but kill enough, so you'll have the room to move, because less enemies equals more space. And then once you've got all the specters out of their way, they walk towards you and henceforth away from where they can block your shots. And then you just go at the vials from an area you've got cover, and of course you take cover from the cyber, who also walked forward, so that cover actually functions as cover from the cyber too. And once the vials are dead, you have enough room to not be threatened by anything at all. So I choose against rushing those final 3 vials until I can really just camp and cheese and shit. Here's the strategy I took from the guy who named himself after like a C++ variable. I sort of pronounce it like Oxfuba12, but it's like 0xF0BA12, I think it was. He leaves the cybers in this room and comes back with the BFG. And that's what I did too. Copied him. Yep. I'm out, and the next fight is coming. In this fight, what you do here, I kill only pinkies for the thick of the actual fight here. Once you step on a certain area, yeah, the pinkies come. Just more or less run around in circles, but be careful of your balance on the stairs. Stairs can be funky, so just get used to that. And kind of run around in circles to avoid revenants. And also be aware of that cyber demon's position and where is safe to shoot pinkies from. And then just run back and kill the rest of them from here. Once you've killed all the pinkies, all the threat of the room is gone, and you can just go easy cheesy like I did. And there you go. I was really slow here. My previous attempts sucked, more or less just because I wasn't focusing, but I had like 8 attempts the day I actually beat this, more or less. You'll see at the end. But basically, like, I don't know, I just wasn't focused. It's like I think just some part of me didn't care if I won or lost. And also, like, sometimes I have this issue with deviating from the strategy I'm supposed to do. If I just keep repeating something, I start to forget pieces of my strategy. And what I was forgetting is in the opening room with the Archvile chain gunner bit, after I spare all those enemies, I forgot to use those spare enemies to tank, and I ended up getting overwhelmed. You need to use the spare enemies to tank chain guns and start infights. And that's sort of what I forgot. I have that issue. And yeah, I used that extra chain gun too. I could have used more shotgun, because this room's actually kind of decent for chain gun. Yeah, I was really slow. I got sort of nervous. Like, I mean, the 7 attempts I had this day, I forgot when I actually did it. This is recorded a while back, actually. But I think it was 8 or something attempts when I focused and sort of refined a few strategies that needed some work. And I got it then. So just keep working. Nothing really to worry about here. You've basically won the room. Yeah, just keep going. I usually use shotgun against that cyber, but I was nervous, even though, like, these 6 or 7 or 9 or however many attempts, like, were, like, worth 10 times more than everything previous. I just have this focus issue. Like, half of the time when I play, I'll be asleep at the wheel, more or less, I guess is what I'd call it, just being asleep at the wheel. Yeah. So, yeah, just don't worry. Just go plasma and it'll die eventually. And a pretty easy Archvile coming up. This Archvile is just basically there to make it harder for you to just run straight out of the room. That's about it. It's super easy once you've killed everything.